Hello, I'm Eric Roby.
And I'm Carla Schaefer, and this is Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Today we'll check in with our cheerleading champions, and we'll give you a preview of the DIY Super Bowl coming to Annapolis. First, making headlines this week, South County residents are getting a nice taste of progress as a long-awaited grocery store is finally up and running. Christopher's Fine Foods is a locally owned modern food market. Churchton fought off the Safeway and the big box store and settled on something they say is just right. The store has been 6 years in the making. Residents told the Annapolis Capitol that they like the new store because it has a local feel, with aisles named after towns like Shadyside, Deal, and Galesville. It also marks the revitalization of a property once considered an eyesore. The store also brings jobs with just about 100 employees.
Well, Carla, that's great news. And you know, it kind of got me thinking. We haven't had as much South County stories on Week in Review as we probably should. We need more South County folks, so send us your ideas. Well, we're really proud now to have more than 700 friends on our Facebook page. So we thought we'd take a look at where our viewers are logging in on and watching our show. The results may kind of surprise you. It turns out that the most viewers reside in, you guessed it, my hometown of Pasadena. North County has a big lead, followed by Annapolis and South County. We just got about 100 new friends from the Annapolis Facebook page, so the state capitol is now making some gains. And here's an interesting tidbit, Carla. Which guest on the show do you think brought in the most viewers? Well, was it our Annapolis idol? Was it Robin Small and, of course, Bonnie the cat from Animal Control? Or was it star running back Rob Chesson from the championship Old Mill Patriots? No. It was Santa. That's right, we had the most people watching the show on Christmas Eve. So that's right, Santa is still king. Nobody beats Santa.
Well, Santa might get a run for his money today from a group of high school girls who recently became repeat champions. The Chesapeake High School cheerleaders, that's the Cougars, Eric, are the best of the best again in our county. As we speak, the girls are moving on to the state championships in Westminster. Our own Marita Hardy stopped by practice as the girls prepared for the big dance, as they say. Marina?
Thanks, Carla. I'm here today at beautiful Chesapeake High School with the county champs, the cheerleaders here. Congratulations, Coach,
so
and all your hard work here. How long have you been the head coach of Chesapeake?
For 7 years.
Fantastic. And now we're going to meet the other captains here.
Jessica Sheehan, I've been cheering for 10 years.
Fantastic.
I'm Carly Shaw. I've been cheering for 12 years.
Fantastic.
I'm Lauren Freeberger, and I've cheered for 13.
Great. And Coach, I'm seeing all the beautiful banners here. It seems like you have a long winning tradition of cheerleaders here and lots of county championships. What made this one special?
I think, well, they're all special in their own way, but we were 3 years undefeated at county, region, and state, so that's, our state banners are that way. But in the last 2 seasons, we were coming in like second or third. We had a rebuilding time, so to have it back was really awesome.
Fantastic. What's special about this team?
I think the camaraderie of them, they're really a family. They really gel together. They work hard. They have great energy, and they're just awesome kids.
Great. Well, we're going to take a little break here, and we're going to introduce ourselves to the rest of the team. All right. And here's the rest of the Chesapeake cheerleaders, our new county champs.
Jessica Sheehan,
Carly Shaw.
Lauren Michelle Freeberger,
Carly Farrell,
Morgan Cluster,
Christine Marie Barnes, Megan Martin,
Brittany Miller,
Alisani Rebels, Abby Schultz,
Alex Braun,
Cairo Keenan, Haley Smith, Sydney Taylor,
Bree Moore.
Lauren Valunas,
Stephanie Crosby, Megan Tolojetsky.
These are our county champs.
Thanks, Marina, and good luck to the girls. Hopefully they can add another state championship banner to the Old Mill Football's banner in the rafters.
Our first community spotlight this week is shining in a bright hue of green. Our own Brenda Reber filed a report in West County about the upcoming State of the Magothy address. Brenda.
Hi, I'm Brenda Reber, and we are kicking off the Community Spotlight Environmental Series. We're going to be talking to community members about what they've done in the past and what they're going to do in the future to make Anne Arundel County an even better place to live. I am here today with Paul Spadero, president of the Magothy River Association. Paul,
Hi,
thanks
Brenda.
for being with us.
Welcome to the Magothy River, Cattail Creek.
What can you tell us about the Magothy River Association? How did you begin, and what do you do now?
We began in 1946. We originally were formed to preserve and protect the Magothy River. We are very much involved in local politics, legislative issues, development issues. We have education programs and volunteer programs, basically all designed to preserve and protect the Magothy River.
I understand you're having a State of the Magothy meeting. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is? How long have you done it, and what are you going to cover?
We started this program since 2003. This year's program will be February the 15th at Anne Arundel Community College at the Cult Building, located on the campus near the Big Vanilla. The program starts at 6:30. There will be presentations, displays, and refreshments served.
And what sort of issues of the Magothy River are you going to discuss? What are you presenting to the people?
We are basically going to have 3 presentations. The first presentation will be the actual index, which tells the conditions of what the river currently is. The second presentation will be from our our Government Affairs Committee. Russ Stevenson, our Vice President, will talk about his committee working with the county planning and zoning on some zoning issues recently and some actions that they're planning on working with the county on, particularly with development along Route 2 and Mountain Road. And the third will be a new kind of monitoring program, plankton studies by Dick Carey, who is our dive master. One of the issues that have plagued the river recently are these very disturbing algae blooms. And what Dick is trying to do is to work up a program of measuring the amount of algae blooms so that hopefully, maybe in the future, we'll be able to predict these harmful events. I'm sort of thinking that it would look like something like you would see in a forest fire, where you would have red, green, yellow, and hopefully that will tell people to not to contact the river. It's very preliminary, but it's a very interesting report that Dick is going to present.
What are the top 3 things, the accomplishments that you can say the Magothy River Association has achieved?
I would say we have a long history, about 65 years of accomplishments. I think in the back of my mind, top of the list would be that each year we offer 2 scholarships, the E. Gordon Raleigh Scholarship and the Jim Gutman Scholarship at Anne Arundel Community College, to interested students that are interested in preserving and protecting the Magothy River. This year, we have a very fine candidate, Alicia Fisher, and we'll introduce her that evening on Wednesday.
What else have you guys done?
We also have done, we invented oyster gardening. We're very thrilled about how it spread across the bay. We also have worked with the World Bank recently through our DIVE program, where we actually set up a water monitoring program through the World Bank with 2 West African countries. It's kind of a great accomplishment. And we've actually received some money, and that money went into our plankton studies program.
Well, what suggestions can you offer homeowners in how they can work to improve the river?
Well, sadly, I have to report over the last couple of years that the Magothy's health has been declining. And sometimes it gets discouraging, but I would not be standing in front of you right now and talking if I really didn't deep down believe that we can reverse the failing grades. And there are a couple of things that people can do right away. I would highly recommend that you join the Magothy River Association and volunteer to participate in our programs. And then I would also encourage people to plant more trees on their properties. I would also encourage them to use less fertilizer. And I would also encourage them to reconsider or consider revamping their septic system if they're on the old system to get into the new oxygen reducing systems. Those 3 things could really make a difference. And I think if we all work together, we can be better stewards, and we must be better stewards to reverse this failing trend.
Paul, thank you so much for joining us today. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Brenda. We'll look forward to your next installment about our great environment.
Well, there's more Week in Review to come, including our preview of the Annapolis Home Show coming to town soon. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's cold and flu season, and the last thing you want is to be sick or make others sick. So here's what you do to stop germs and stay healthy. Cover your coughs. Wash your hands after sneezing, coughing, or blowing your nose. Wash with warm water and soap for 20 seconds, and then dry. When you can't wash your hands, use an alcohol-based sanitizer. If you do get sick, stay home. Stop germs, stay healthy.
And welcome back, folks. Well, it's been a mild winter, and there are a lot of good folks out there that got some great ideas for projects around the house, whether it's inside the house or whether you're getting ready for that springtime cleaning and doing some landscaping outside. So we saw no reason to not have the guy on here that's going to give you all the ideas at the Home Expo show. We're talking about Scott Smith with Mid-Atlantic Expos. You're the president of the company, Scott, and you've got a couple of big shows coming up here in Anne Arundel County. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the shows?
We do. We have 3 shows coming up here in Anne Arundel County this spring. Next weekend, February 18th and 19th, we have the Annapolis Home and Remodeling Expo. That show actually runs for 2 weekends back to back, mostly different exhibitors over the 2 weekends. And it's really a showcase for home improvement contractors, companies and services of all kinds to help homeowners get the maximum out of their house, whether that be from a mortgage to repairs to design and build to lawn and landscape, pretty much whatever anybody could want. And it's all in one place. It's a small show, nice intimate feel. And we have some wonderful celebrities on hand, national celebrities coming in for educational seminars, which we're real excited about. And that's free of charge with your admission. There's no extra charge or anything, and you can get right up personal, ask them questions, talk to them, get their autograph if that's what you want. And it's really gone over great over the last 7 years having this format.
So Scott, what are folks going to see? I mean, these are you're typical, you've got the boat show, you've got the car show. Is this a show where folks are going to walk in and they're going to look over and see a builder or a designer with a kitchen setup, or a landscape contractor that has done a mock landscape of something they can do with their yard and ask questions?
Absolutely, absolutely. I know, for example, when I've gone to home shows before, I usually have a couple of ideas in my head on things that I might want to do around my house. I can never really figure out the priority that year on what I'm going to do. So when you go in, different people are showcasing their capabilities, what types of things they're able to do, so that when you want to talk about that aspect of your house, they're there to answer questions and, more importantly, show you what they can do. We have companies that specialize in design build. So if you had a house and you say, I really just don't know what to do with this house. Some of them are architects, some of them are tied to architects. They can come in and say, and meet with you and talk to you and figure out that the addition that you thought might make sense might be kind of better if it's done this way. Then they can show you examples of other clients that they've done. Landscape companies that can really talk you through an entire landscape project. We have complete kitchen cabinets that are set up. You can pick different types of things, countertops, granite, pretty much anything you can think of. Home energy auditing. I actually had that done for my house, and it was probably one of the best things I did. I had a home energy auditor come in, and they really reviewed my house and came up with a detailed plan. And it was a short list and a long list, things that I really should be doing right now to make my home more energy efficient and save me some money, and then things I should think about doing over the long haul. And they also can look for problems that you may have that you didn't know about. So all kinds of different things. We have Angie's List, which is at our shows. They come to our shows and they love our shows and meeting with customers and talking to them about contractors that are good and helpful in your area. Sure. Just about anything you can think of. Maybe it's water services if you need water treatment for your house. All kinds of different great companies from this area. Local, regional, and national companies. Companies like Cutco, the knife people, they come to our shows, and if you want to buy your high-end cutlery, and you can buy it right from them right there. So all kinds of neat things. Great landscape displays to give you a sense. A lot of these companies don't have a storefront that you can walk into as a showroom and go see what they have, because they work out of an industrial park because of the nature of their business. So this gives them a shot to have a store right there where people can come in and compare and talk through their ideas and get a good sense of what they want to do to their house and kind of start to narrow those things down, all at one place at one time.
Okay. You talked a little bit about educational seminars, and it seems like you have everything from kind of the traditional remodeling seminars to Antiques Appraisers. Maryland's Dog Whisperer is going to be at one of the shows. Tell us what people can expect from that.
Well, one of the things I'm a huge believer in as a producer is it's not just about walking around and finding out things you can buy. There's got to be some kind of a benefit and an educational purpose, something you can learn. And what more fun than meeting somebody you see on national TV or hear on radio or read in the paper on a regular basis. And that's one of the things probably the most fun part of my job is trying to figure out who's relevant, and then who I can talk into coming to some of my shows that are able to do it. And because my shows are smaller shows, they're not the huge mega shows, and it's really fun. It's agonizing at times trying to find some of these people and then getting their availability and find out they want way too much money. But we've been pretty successful at getting great celebrities. For example, we bring in the guys from This Old House, some of the different crew members from This Old House on a regular basis. Tom's become a good friend of mine, Tom Silva. And it's great when a customer can sit there and just absorb this knowledge, ask them questions right then and right there. And these people are so knowledgeable about what they do. It's really, that's a lot of fun trying to find the right mix. So what I've come up with this spring, one of the days I'm real excited about is Saturday the 18th. I've got Billy Darien, who was the first guy to win the HGTV Landscapers Challenge, coming in. And Billy talks conceptual. How do you turn your backyard into livable space? That dead spot that you go out and you cut the grass and you really never go use it, into a functional room that you use 12 months a year. Coupled with that same day, I have Mike McGrath, the garden guy from WTOP in Washington. Mike's also on National Public Radio. So Billy can help you strategically figure out, and Mike will make sure it's green. So it's kind of a fun combination, and especially this time of year, if spring is coming early, like it looks like people are ready to get out in the yard and start digging. Yeah. On the Sunday, I have an antiques appraiser coming in, and Dr. Lori has been around. She's started doing shows with us 3 years ago. Every year, her crowd gets bigger and bigger. People bring their keepsakes and their collectibles to the show, and she is so smart. She looks at this stuff and can tell you the history of it. She's amazing, and she's an honest broker, tells you what it's worth. And then the following weekend, I've got Damon Bennett from Homes on Homes and Homes Inspections coming in, which is a great show on Home and Garden TV. And then the Dog Whisperer that you mentioned, that's a great experiment. People love their dogs, and they live in the house, most of them. So Dr. Susie Homeyer is a dog whisperer, and she's phenomenal with dogs. And her seminar is about how to help your good dog give up a bad habit. If you know you have a dog with a heart of gold, but he's doing some goofy things, how do you work with him? What's the process? And then the folks from Annapolis Home Magazine are providing a great presentation on transformations of homes in Annapolis, the before and after on some of the things that they've seen, what people started with and what they ended with, and some really beautiful stuff. So I try to find things that are going to meet everybody's needs and appeal to a lot of different aspects of home ownership.
Yeah. Well, Scott, sounds like a great time for folks to come out there. I mean, a perfect weekend. It's the winter time. Yep. You can't really go outside and do much, but a great place to go and get some good ideas. Scott, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
let's talk about one last time, 18th and 19th at Annapolis at the National Guard Armory.
And then the 25th and 26th in the Armory in Annapolis, and then in Fort Meade, April 20th through 22nd.
Great. Well, folks, get out there. See what you can do to your house and yard at the Home Show coming up this weekend, the 18th and 19th at the Annapolis National Guard Armory. Stay with us, folks. We'll have more Week in Review when we come back after the break.
Hello, I'm County Executive John Leopold. Accidents caused by drunk driving can be prevented. Only you can make the difference. Drink responsibly and always buckle up.
On average, every month, 22 Marylanders die as a result of drunk driving crashes.
We don't want to be the designated driver for drunk driving crash victims.
But if you choose to drink and drive, we will find you and provide you with a free ride.
Make the right choice. Drive sober and always buckle up.
Designate a sober driver, or
we'll designate one for you.
You can watch Week in Review online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes, or of course, like us on Facebook at Arundel TV. Welcome back. A local restaurant and tavern and a fixture in the Annapolis political scene will hit the big time later this month when it's featured on the Food Network, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Yes, indeed, celebrity Guy Fieri will show off Galway Bay, one of Annapolis's best, and the owners are inviting customers to come celebrate. Located on Maryland Avenue in the shadow of the State House, Galway Bay, a popular pub and restaurant for 14 years here in Annapolis. On February 20th, this show will air, and Galway Bay is having a viewing party for one night only. There will actually be televisions in the restaurant and bar. Usually it's just old school brass tools and whiskey for entertainment. Starting at 8 p.m., the festivities will include door prizes, a charity raffle, a special menu themed after the show, and much more, so stop on by, folks.
This week, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to more than 1,289 calls for service. This included more than 1,014 emergency medical calls and 87 fire calls. 2 people were seriously injured in an accident in South County, and another motorist was injured in Glen, Burnie, while firefighters worked to contain a fire in a home in Arnold. With us now to tell us more about these incidents is Division Chief Michael Cox of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief?
Thanks, Carla. The first incident occurred on February 2nd, 2012, around 6:35 p.m., when Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported motor vehicle collision on Route 214, which is Central Avenue, near Muddy Creek Road in the Edgewater area of the county. The first unit who arrived on the scene reported a 4-car collision with entrapment in one vehicle. There were 2 people injured as a result of the incident. The patients, a 27-year-old female and a 50-year-old female, both suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Both patients were transported to the University of Maryland R. Adams Cowley Shock Trauma Center in Baltimore. One patient, a 27-year-old, was flown via state police helicopter, and the second patient, the 50-year-old female, was transported via ground ambulance. Around 9 a.m. on Saturday, February 4th, 2012, Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported dwelling fire in the 200 block of Turnwing Drive in Arnold. The first arriving units reported smoke and fire coming from the front of a 1-story split foyer-type home. All occupants were able to escape prior to the arrival of the fire department. The fire was brought under control in about 20 minutes. In a third incident, one person was taken to a local hospital after flipping over in the area of North County Library around 4 p.m. on Monday, February 6, 2012. County firefighters responded to a reported motor vehicle collision in front of the North County Library on Eastway Drive, near the intersection of Ritchie Highway and Aquahart Road. The first units to arrive reported a 2-car collision with rollover. There was 1 patient injured as a result of the incident. They did suffer minor injuries and were transported to a local hospital via ground ambulance. Carla?
Thanks, Chief. Fire officials advised that a damage estimate was not immediately available for the fire, and although the exact cause is still under investigation, it is believed to be accidental in nature.
And now our community spotlight shines on Glen, Burnie, where Mark Chang is at the Civitan Club. Mark.
Thanks to both of you in the studio. I'm out here on this great, wonderful, warm day in January over Millersville, and with me today I'm hanging out with the Glen Burnie Civitan Club. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, first of all, I want to start with the president of the club, Miss Susie Provine. Susie, could you tell the viewers out there about Civitan Club International and the Glen Burnie Civitan Club?
Absolutely. Civitan is an international organization. It's a community service group. We do all different kinds of activities that benefit the community, and our main focus is on helping individuals with developmental disabilities. Our local club is here. We're here at OBI today. This is one of the groups that we support. I guess that's it.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks, Susie. Well, that's very interesting, and not too many people out there, I guess, would know about the Civitan Club, but that's good, very good information to know about. And now, Miss Sue, could you tell the folks out there about one of the biggest fundraisers the club has?
Sure. One of the most fun fundraisers that everyone in the club enjoys is the pizza stand at the Glen Burnie Carnival each year. We've been doing that for 57 years. Now, the first year we hand-tossed pizzas. We don't do that any longer, but we make nice fresh pizzas, and everyone in the community comes out and buys them, and it's a great fundraiser for the club, promotes our name and our function.
Great. Well, I've been to the Glen Burnie Carnival many times and had your pizza many times, so thank you for the pizzas you all make. And Mr. Ron, could you tell us about the other fundraiser that you all have?
Well, one of the other fundraisers, we have several, but one of them is the Candy Box program, which was developed by Civitan International. And basically what it does is it has local clubs like ours have candy boxes out in the local businesses, and people have the candy and donate for the candy, and the club gets to keep 25% of the collection, and 75% of the money collected goes to Civitan International Research Center in Birmingham, Alabama, and which was started in 1990, and it's a flagship project to research and find the causes and cures for mental retardation.
Great. Thanks a lot, Mr. Ron. I really appreciate that information. Going over to Mr. Dick here. I understand there's a friendship club that you all have part of. Could you tell us about it?
Yes. One of the things that Civitans do is they try to involve other people, and they set up and go out and try to start up other clubs. Most recently, we've done the Howard County Club, but 10 years ago, we went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, to a Civitan convention there, and there we found developmentally disabled club made up all of developmentally people. And so when we come home, we said, well, why don't we try that? Let's go to OBI and see if Vicki Callahan will cooperate with us. So we did that 10 years ago. We started with about 50 people, and we have a monthly lunch meeting. Actually, it's lunch. It's a bag lunch. And then we supply dessert and we supply soda. And we do all kinds of projects. Recently, we did Valentine's, which we're bringing to nursing homes in the next week or so. The club now numbers very close to 90 people. And because of space considerations, we have a hard time not having 100 or 150 people. So it's a lot of fun. We teach a lot of social skills. We have from this club, we've set up a bell choir, which we bring around to all the nursing homes in the area. And also we've had them down at the mall in Annapolis for Disability Week. And the county executive has enjoyed that. And those are the kind of things that we do with the Friendship Club.
Great. Thanks a lot, Mr. Dick. That sounds like a really awesome club. And thanks for all the community service that you all have with that club. And I'll tell you, before we turn it over, actually, Mr. Ed is back here, and he's one of my neighbors over in Glen, Burnie. And, you know, you and I have known each other for a few years. You know, Mr. Ed, I tell you, if you could share with the folks out there why the Civitan Club is so important to you and folks with developmental disabilities are so important to you, if you could, sir.
Well, at one time I had a son that is developmentally disabled, and he came here to the workshop for 25 years. And that's what got me started volunteering here. So we're coming up on our 50th year, so it gives me 35 years of service here. But it is a very well-rounded program. It is grown from the first when I saw it start out from 13 developmentally disabled graduates from special education, and it's grown to over 400 and some people.
Great. Thanks a lot for sharing that testimony, Mr. Ed. I'll see you back in Glen Burnie in the neighborhood. And so I'll tell you what, we got a lot of great information here. Susie, for the viewers out there who are really inspired by this club, how can they get more information about the club and be part of the club?
Well, you can contact me at, let's see, at my phone, 410-987-1517, or you can come to any of our meetings. We meet twice a month, first and third Thursday evenings. On the first Thursday, we meet at the Sunset Restaurant in Glen Burnie for dinner. And then on the third Thursday, we meet here at OBI for our business meetings.
Okay, great. And you have a website, email address?
You can email me, Suzy, S-U-Z-Y, at abloomingbasket.com.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Susie, and thank you to the entire Glen Burnie Civitan Club team. Thank you for all the work that you do for the folks in Anne Arundel County, especially in the developmental disability population. Really appreciate it. So it's a lot of great information. Please consider being part of this club or coming to support this club. This is Mark Chang reporting from Millersville. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mark. You always seem to find the spots where people are out there making a difference in our community.
All right, well, we swear we're not trying to give anyone hints in particular, but Valentine's Day is coming and the business spotlight happens to shine on Zachary's Jewelers in Severna Park. How did that happen? So let's go to John Fernay from Annapolis with more. John?
Thanks, Eric and Carla.
Today we're here at Zachary's Jewelers, but we're not down on Main Street in Annapolis. We're over here in Severna Park up on Ritchie Highway. We talked about they were being neighbors to Homestead Gardens, and as a matter of fact, they have a doorway right between the two. And I'm here with Charlie Samaras, who is the, good to see you, and thank you very much for humoring us and allowing us to come in.
Well, thank you for coming in. We love being here next door to Homestead. As you said, we've got the breezeway that attracts people both ways.
Right. Well, Zachary's has been around forever, it seems. Such a great neighbor, both down in Annapolis and also now up here in Severna Park in the county. I know that we've seen all sorts of different events. I was thrilled with the Nutcracker preview downtown at Christmas time. And what's happening up in Severna Park? How are things working for you here?
Well, we try to get very involved with the Chamber and their Taste and Sip event that Homestead let us kind of piggyback with them on so that the local vendors can showcase their wares and food, and you know, we spilled them over into our store and got some exposure last year. We've been here 1 year in November, and so we really are happy to be in the Severna Park community.
Great. Well, I know you've really made sort of some inroads. I know you've got the monthly, and I will mess it up, but it's the mommy and the children's events on the
Kids Rock.
Kids Rock, right.
And we do it on the first Wednesday of the month in Severna Park. They do it the first Tuesday downtown.
Right, right. And then there's plenty of other different events I know that are coming here with all the beautiful baubles that you've got here.
And during Mother's Day, we did a promotion last year with the local 5th graders where it was a design a piece of jewelry for your mom contest. And we had, I guess, 13 schools participating and over 300 kids submitted artwork, and we produced 3 pieces of jewelry for their moms that they were able to give to them on Mother's Day.
Fabulous, and we've got that to look forward to again this year?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I won't take any more of your time. I do appreciate you letting us come in here and see a little peek of Zachary's Jewelers here on Ritchie Highway in Severna Park. I know you guys are on Facebook at facebook.com/Zachary's Jewelers, and you can obviously get in touch with them on their website at zacharysjewelers.com.
Twitter as well, right, Erica?
Twitter as well. Well, thank you very much,
Thank
Allie.
you.
Take care. Back to you, Eric and Carla.
Thanks, John, and we're sure you made a little purchase while you were in there, too.
Well, folks, are you ready for another 5K? Carla's going to have to be on the sidelines for this one, but I just might be there, of course. Yes, it's the annual Deeds for Special Needs. That's Rec Deeds for Special Needs 5K, and Carolyn Ryan has more. Carolyn.
Thanks. Well, I'm here at Fort Smallwood Park with Wendy Scarborough, and we're here to talk about this year's Rec Deeds Challenge Run 5K and Fun Walk. And with the weather this winter, we should have all of our viewers out there this year participating in our race. Our race is coming up on March 31st. And Wendy, we talked a little bit about Rec Deeds, or I mentioned Rec Deeds. A couple of weeks ago, we had thousands of people out at Sandy Point Park doing the polar bear plunge that benefited Special Olympics. Now, a lot of people might not know that we actually have our own program within Anne Arundel County that supports recreation programs for adaptive athletes. Tell us a little bit about Rec Deeds.
Well, Rec Deeds is a very small 501c3 that we have here in Anne Arundel County, and we do support all of the recreation programs so that we can get our special athletes out. Special Olympics is huge, and they do a lot of wonderful things. A lot of our programs in Anne Arundel County are more for the clinic youth, the youth who just need to get out and recreate. And so we are wonderfully blessed to have a small group that has gotten together and supports our programs in recreation and parks, as well as other families for other programs throughout the county.
Great. Now, speaking of our programs, what ages do these programs support?
Rec Deeds for Special Needs will support anyone from ages 4 on up with a program that is a recreation. It needs to be a recreation program. It needs to be approved. We work with agencies throughout the county to make sure that the families in need receive the funding. We also support the programs that need maybe a field trip, maybe some extra equipment. So it's not just for programming, but the main piece that we do for our runs is to try to get scholarship for our youth to go to camp.
Okay, well, that was going to be my next question. How does the run support Rec Deeds?
It goes towards the scholarship fund for the programs that we support, and we are so blessed to make sure that every penny that comes in goes back out to the families. I'm recreation liaison to the group, and part of what I do is then I identify to the group who has the greatest need and the most appropriate program for them.
Great. Well, folks, come on out, support Rec Deeds, and you can do our 5K run on March 31st, or we also have a 1-mile fun walk. You can get all the information, registration information on our website at www.aacounty.org/recparks. Back to you.
Thanks, Carolyn.
Well, the county is kicking off a special program to highlight the artistic talents of people with disabilities. Mary Felter talks with Kate Rollason about the program. Mary?
Thank you, Carla. Today I'm at the headquarters of the ARC, Central Chesapeake Region, which is an organization that works with people who have developmental disabilities. And my guest today is Kate Rollason, who is the executive director of the organization. And she's also a commissioner who has epilepsy and serves on the Commission of Disability Issues in the county. And I'm happy to have her on the program today. Welcome.
Welcome, Mary, and thank you for having me.
I wanted you to be on the program today to talk about the commission and also the call for entries that you're doing for artists who have disabilities and are residents of Anne Arundel County. So tell us first a little bit about the commission.
Well, the commission, we have 21 members, all of whom are appointed by County Executive Leopold. And a number of those are also people who run service providing agencies, such as Service Coordination, Inc. So it really helps the commission to pull together all the information. And then it, of course, includes a lot of people who have a wide variety of disabilities themselves.
I know you have some people who are using wheelchairs, and do you have a deaf member who uses the screen that we set up for the meetings? So.
And a member who has brain injury, you know, it really, and some parents who have kids with intellectual disabilities and visual impairments. And
well, I understand that your role is really to advise the county executive and the county council on some policies.
Policies, legislative issues, all of those things that come to bear. And there's an annual report that goes to both the county executive and the county council to summarize that, to summarize the work that the commission has done.
And you also, I read the webpage that said that you enhance the abilities of people who have or you enhance their lives. And it seems to me the art exhibit is one way you're going to do that. So tell us a little bit about what the art exhibit is.
Okay, the art exhibit is for artists who have disabilities. And because one of the other purposes of the commission is to really highlight for the community the abilities that people with disabilities have, and not to just focus on the handicap.
That's right, that's right.
So the art exhibit, which is going to start April 19th, thank you. And the art will be displayed at the Arundel Center, the home of Anne Arundel County government. And County Executive Leopold will be hosting a reception the evening that it starts. We're asking all people with disabilities, children, adults, who are artists, to submit artwork. And all of the information on how to submit can be found on the county website, which is www.aacounty.org/aging.
Right.
And that'll take you right to the commission and has all the information on how to submit. The deadline for submissions is February 20th.
Oh, well, people better get, they're moving a little bit faster. And
that's right.
I know all the directions are there, and if you just go to that webpage, besides clicking on the commission and following the little branches out to finding the information, you can also go to quick links on the right-hand side and find the entry form right there.
Right there, that's great.
We just set it up for you.
And this year, because it's our first year, is going to focus on two-dimensional art. So whether that's pencil drawings, paintings, photographs, that's great. And next year and in future years, we're looking at adding in sculpture and ceramics as well. But for this year, two-dimensional art.
Well, I think this is a very exciting thing for people to get involved in. And if they have any questions, they can call the commission. And that main office number is 410-222-4464. And ask to speak to Commission on Disability Issues or the ADA, Americans with Disability Act Coordinator. And they'll be glad to give you advice and information. So
That's great. We're very excited about this.
I think it's going to be a good show, and we're looking for about 20, 25 pieces, right?
Yeah, 25 pieces, and the judging will actually be done by the Arts Council of Anne Arundel County. And that'll be the executive director of the Arts Council along with 2 members of the council.
Oh, you have some good judges there. So.
Yes, we do, and we're really thrilled about the collaboration between the council and the commission.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Kate, for being on the program today and letting people know about the Call for Artists. You need to get your entry in by February the 20th. If you have any questions, you can call the number. It's on the screen, or you can check the webpage, www.aacounty.org/aging. Go over to quick links on the right, and you'll see the entry form. We're looking forward to the show, Kate. Thanks very much for coming today.
Well, and thanks for being here and talking to me.
This is Mary Felter, Public Information Officer for the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities for Anne Arundel Week in Review. Back to you, Carla.
Thanks, Mary. Again, if you want to find out more or make a submission, call 410-222-4554.
That wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. But before we go, we want to say goodbye to a dear friend to many, a very good friend to me, and a mentor, Dennis Callahan, former mayor of Annapolis and chief administrative officer to Anne Arundel County for the last 5 years, has passed away. Callahan was well known in political circles as a hard-charging guy who just got things done. He died at his home in Civitan Park on February 8th of a heart attack. Dennis certainly did lead a full life. He started a little company years ago that was sold and became Quest Diagnostics. He was an athlete, a former director of our Department of Recreation and Parks, and he's survived by his wife Brenda and his sons Colin, Sean, and many grandchildren. He cared deeply about our county and the people that lived there. If you'd like more information on how to pay your respects, call Barranco Funeral Home at 410-647-2400. Dennis Callahan was 70, and we will certainly all miss him.